How ya doing? We're here with Ginger Desert Creations. I'm playing with the Zorn palette again. Let's see if I can actually make something I like. Let's go paint! While I agree with you that lava flow is not that bad, I am hoping that you'll agree with me that it is also not that good. And I am going to replace it with hopefully something that I like it better. So cross your fingers for me, will you? Because we're gonna do it again! Alright, these two cups have the more muted colors. This cup has the higher contrast, a little bit more of the metallic paints, and it will go on the top, and it is probably too full for what I want to do with this, but I'm going to try to show restraint and stop pouring once it does what I want it to do. Maybe open up it a little bit, drill a little bit more, I don't know. We'll see as we go along, but I will hopefully stop and put a lid on this and use it for a different project that I'm going to do later, so it doesn't go to waste, but it's too much. I think it's going to end up being too chaotic if I use the whole thing, so I'm going to try not to, but we will see what happens. You have to start out by pouring this, pour to the edge. Whoa, that tin just flopped out. I like to push the horizon of the paint forward now. A lot of brown going on in there. Let's pull it this way a little bit because a lot of that is just falling off the edge. We don't want to encourage that. Right about there is our halfway point. I do believe my rack has gotten to be not very level. Starting here, pushing that way. Pop bubbles before we start. Yes, we must be low on gas. Push that way. Trying not to let it go off yet. Even though we don't have to preserve a lot of the color because the background color goes with the theme. Got some dark craziness going on up in here. I am just going to make my life a little easier by flow extending the edges of what paint we have, because it looks like we're a little short because reasons. Made it slippery to hold on to. Tip it on its head. And kind of just come in here, give it a little extra. Let's move it back in the opposite direction. Let's see if we can add a little bit of the drizzle starting now. Just give it a little bit of extra paint to play with and play on. Yeah, that's the problem. A little gloppy. Okay, what do we got so far? Big blocks of silver. 10, actually. Push it a little farther that way. Okay, so maybe we will be fine using the whole thing. I don't know. Let's see what it stretches out to be. Really need to get this area covered more than anything at this point. Let it hang for a minute. Need to get the edge cover down at the bottom there. Chase off a little bit of this tin. Because there's a lot of tin in here. I don't know, come down and see it. I think I see something weird in this thing. And, you know, tracks. Let's take a look. This has a lot of tin in it. That tin really showed up. You got the pebbly stuff going on all over there. I think it looks like the Ochre shows up better on the camera. I love the little line of black that's running along this fissure or whatever you want to call it. A very subtle detail. I gotta decide how I feel about this thing. It might at least be interesting because I can tell myself a little story off of what I see, but we will see how it dries and then I will tell you the weirdness that is in my brain. Stay tuned for the dry result. Oh yes, I dislike this immensely. Say hello to Anansi versus the Kraken. Oh, let's take a look. I would rate this about a 2 out of 10, but we're gonna look at it before I paint over it. Okay, if you will look closely to our left, you will see the Kraken. It's got these squiddy sort of tentacle sucker vibes going on. Down there, around there. Got stretched out a little bit while I was trying to make everything else work, but it kind of does have this octopus squid vibe thing going on. And then here we have either a cuttlefish or Anansi, but I figured since Anansi is a mythological critter, might as well put the Kraken against the spider. Right here, there, we have our spidery goodness. So that's the idea of Anansi versus the Kraken. I do love what the Vermillion's doing. There's way too much of that tin playing around. When you're close to it, it actually looks kind of interesting, but it's a horror show if you take it in as a whole. I don't know. Not a fan, and this one's on the chopping block, but it gets its moment in the sun. I like the cells. The cells did some interesting stuff. There's too much tin, there's always going to be too much something. Anyway, there it is, Anansi versus the Kraken. Who will win? Thanks for watching, comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.